Well, hello there, EFD squad, and welcome back to Transfer Everywhere. Today I'm joined by Jalab, because PVS is working from home. Yeah,
take that how you will. Take that how
Who is our first transfer rumour this week? Let's dive straight in. Jalab.
Our first transfer rumour is Naby Keita. The man was involved in a bit of rough and tough, a bit of handback action after a bad tackle. It is actually quite bad on a fellow Leipzig player. So that 100% means he's out the door now. He's gone. He's gone. Well, all right, let's look into this. RB Leipzig have confirmed that they've rejected a second £74 million bid for Naby from an unknown club. Bild and The Telegraph, amongst others, both claim that it's Liverpool, which is unsurprising. They've been after him all windows. It's been in every gossip article you can read, 100%. The Reds had a £65 million bid rejected just last week, and Klopp is said to be desperate for the player. Look, he will be insane in that squad. He's the one player Liverpool need. Leipzig are refusing to sell it at any price at the moment, and are more than happy to let his price tag just dwindle down until next summer. But Chris, how much will it dwindle down to?
Well, if they were to wait until 2018, Zacharias, they'd only have to pay €48 million because of a clause in his contract. But this would undoubtedly attract the attention of several big boys from across Europe, including the likes of Bayern, Barcelona. So we think a deal may be done in January, not now, in January. And Liverpool are still willing to pay 60 to 65 million euros. And well, RB Leipzig by then will have 6 more months out of the player. He'll have played in their Champions League group stage games, hopefully progressing them into the last 16. But Bild support this view. The German paper Bild think they will be willing to part ways with the midfielder in January, and no doubt Liverpool will be sniffing around still. Now, Keita, as you say, is a huge upgrade on anything Liverpool currently have centrally in the park. Now, when we compare his skill set to that of Jordan Henderson's, Emre Can's, and Jorginho Wijnaldum's, whose name's been spelt wrong on my sheet, he's better in terms of chances created, in terms of successful take-ons, and in terms of interceptions. Only Jordan Henderson comes out on top when it comes to tackles, but Naby Keita's got a really unique skill set. This guy can play at the back, he can play a little in a more advanced role. He averages an awful lot of take-ons. He contributed to a lot of goals and assists last season. He'd be a huge loss to the Bundesliga, but I doubt RB Leipzig want to see him go to Bayern. I mean, Barcelona will no doubt be keen, but they're well stocked for midfielders. We'd like to see him in the Premier League. Indeed. Should Liverpool go in big now for him, to the tune of more than 75 mil, or wait 6 months? Guys, what do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
It's our second transfer rumour of the day. Baby. And it is about a certain Spaniard from Arsenal. But Chris, my friend, who is it?
Well, it's not Santi Cazorla.
No.
He's not going anywhere. Quite literally, can't move, always injured. It is, of course, Lucas Perez, and you could be forgiven for forgetting he played for the Gooners because he didn't really feature an awful lot last season, did he, Zacharias? Now, apparently, according to The Telegraph, Arsenal are close to agreeing a deal with Deportivo La Coruña for Lucas Perez, the club they bought him from for £17.1 million just 12 months ago. Now, he's not really impressed, has he? He's not really been given the minutes for one. Scored in a couple of cup competitions, but he's not nailed down that wide berth at all. And, oh, check this out. He's been stripped of the number 9 shirt without his knowledge. They've given it to Lacazette. Apparently, his agent went on the website and saw Arsenal selling number 9 Lacazette shirts.
That's mad. That's true.
Hold on, that's my client's shirt. Now he feels insulted, he feels betrayed by Arsene Wenger. He told La Voz de Galicia that it was an ugly gesture. So yeah, no doubt he'll want to move. And Marca and AS have said that he will definitely leave this summer for a Spanish team. Let's see which one.
Well, Perez has also confirmed that in February he wanted to go to China, but was not allowed and told that he would get more opportunities to start, which is fair. You know, if you're told by Arsene Wenger you're going to play more, you'd agree. Let's not move to China for the dosh. But look, Perez made just 2 starts for Arsenal in the Premier League, scoring just once. Deportivo have reportedly offered Perez a 10-year contract at his former club, which Just wait for this, get ready. Fenerbahce are also interested in the deal, but Perez favours Deportivo, which is obvious. UEFA rulings decree that you can only sign a 5-year contract at a club though, and apparently according to the Telegraph, they believe that after 5 years he would become a director of football at Deportivo. But look, where should he go? Should he stay at Arsenal? Should he go to China in January? Should he go to Fenerbahce? Let us know in the poll above Chris's head.
10 years.
It's mental.
We stay in the Premier League with our next bit of transfer gossip, and it is Everton Sigurdsson. It's been going on for a while, but apparently they have officially lodged a £45 million bid. Now, he has his redeemable features, doesn't he? But 45 million, Zach, explain to me
what's the world coming to?
Is back mental.
Look, Sky Sports claim that Swansea have rejected this £45 million bid from Everton on Monday, yesterday. Now, Swansea want £50 million for the attacking midfielder, who turns 28 in September. What is the world coming to? I mean, it's mental.
I get it to an extent. He's not worth £50 million, but he's probably worth £50 million to Swansea.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it probably matters to the people at Swansea.
But if Everton were to bid this, it's what's the world coming to. Anyway, Sigurdsson did not travel with Swansea on tour and instead is training with the under-23 side back in Wales, which, if anything has told us, that basically means he's on the move. If you don't go on tour with your squad,
straight from the line,
you're on the move. You're on the move, literally. The Daily Mirror also claimed that Ronald Koeman is desperate to sign the Icelandic attacking midfielder and that he will match Swansea's asking price this week. Leicester City have also had a £35 million bid rejected, so that's more reasonable though. £35 million, I agree with. 50, that's Fernando Torres a couple of years ago. Yeah, I know for inflation or whatever, but still, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is mad.
Look, London Evening Standard also claimed that Tottenham are monitoring the situation, but that I'm not even going to finish reading because that's ridiculous.
Quite a long
Tottenham literally had him as well like a couple of years ago. Yeah. Why are they going to get him back?
Well, maybe, just maybe, Everton are willing to pay a little bit more for Sigurdsson because they have found potential suitors for Ross Barkley. Maybe he's on his way to Spurs, maybe not. But if they buy Sigurdsson and Ross Barkley doesn't go, then my oh my, do they have a surplus of midfielders at Everton. Maybe Koeman's just going to play total football, just like 8 midfielders pressing at all times. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's have a look at Sigurdsson's contribution to Swansea last season. And this is maybe why he's worth £50 million to them, Zach. 9 goals and 13 assists last season in the Premier League. 3 of those goals came from penalties, and 8 of the 13 assists actually came from set pieces.
But that's how Swansea play.
That isn't, that's not a stick to beat him with. Yeah. That's his forte, that's his speciality. If Swansea rely on set piece goals, then fair enough. Speaking to Ted Newson recently, and he said that set pieces are extremely underrated in the Premier League and underutilised. Yeah, no, so maybe Paul Clement is onto something there. But yeah, take those goals out and you have an attacking midfielder who's still contributing 4 goals and 5 assists in 38 games. So that's a goal every 4 to 5 games. In terms of contributions, still not bad. I wouldn't say, well, what is 50 million quid in today's market? That's so hard to quantify. He also created 80 chances last season and 55 of those were from set plays, which is more alarming if you're a team that doesn't particularly utilise him the way that Swansea do, because he's creating more chances from set pieces in an open play, which is a bit more of a rarity. But 71 Premier League players created more chances in the Premier League than him last season. So is there a better fit for Everton? We're not sure. Yes you, let us know in the comments below.
Our last but certainly not least, my beloved, I thought we were screwed. I thought it was all over. Voice break. Chelsea are after a 4-player swoop. Chris, tell me who we're after.
Yeah, let's make this nice and quick, mate. I'm fed up of talking about Chelsea. They'll end up signing none of these.
True.
You know. So, Alex Sandro, Fernando Llorente, Virgil van Dijk and Antonio Candreva.
Not bad.
Big shout out to Llorente's eyes as well. You could swim in those bad boys.
100%.
Now, Corriere dello Sport claim that Juve are unwilling to sell Sandro because they've already sold Bonucci. It makes sense. They don't want to sell 2 of their defensive big hitters. But Tuttosport don't agree, claiming he could still be sold for around 60 million euros. Would he be a better acquisition than Mendy at left back for Manchester City? I don't think so. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Anyway, Llorente also has told Swansea he wants to leave. I mean, he sniffed one last big payday at Chelsea, and who could blame him playing in that side last season? He struggled in various parts, but he actually still scored 15 goals.
That's impressive.
In 28 starts.
Very impressive.
In all competitions. He's Swansea's top goal scorer by an impressive 5-goal margin. But tell me a bit more about Van Dijk.
Yes, the others, it's whatever. Virgil van Dijk is the main one here.
He is, yeah.
Apparently, allegedly, he has emerged as Conte's #1 target, according to The Guardian. I thought Lukaku was our #1, but how did that end up? Anyway, look, the Southampton centre-back has not travelled with the Saints on pre-season tour, and Maurizio Pellegrino has revealed that VVD is refusing to play for the club until he is sold. Until he is sold. Look, Van Dijk would be a massive upgrade on the rest of Chelsea centre-backs, which makes Rudiger's arrival a little bit more questionable. I'm going to read out some stats here, compared to Gary Cahill, David Luiz and Rudiger last season per 90 minutes. In tackles won, interceptions, aerial duels, blocks, he's the better out of all of them. Out of all of them.
He's a beast.
I'm going to put this here. He has a bit of an iffy injury record. He was out for about 6 months last season. And keep in mind, Chelsea have Kante and Matic playing in front of them, so they're not going to have to make as much tackles and interceptions as he may have to. Plus,
Are you saying that Chelsea could have centre-backs? You've got good midfielders. It's not really how you win titles, is it?
I think we can sort of do with, say, we could do without him. We don't need him. The centre-backs that we've got is perfect.
Spend big money.
Plus, I think if you were to put in David Luiz here with Van Dijk on his passing, like some of the balls David Luiz would put over top for Diego Costa and things like that were mental. Like, just look at highlights of David Luiz last season, they're ridiculous. However, if you said, would I take Van Dijk for 60 million right now, I'd snap your hand off and say yes.
Celtic could get 6 of that as well. Use it to bring Paddy Roberts back to the club. Come home, Paddy!
That's it.
Come home.
We're done.
So that was this week's transfer review, guys. Thank you for watching. Have we missed anyone out? Let us know, as always, in the comments below, and get me and Zach on Twitter. Just passed 1,000, didn't you?
I know, big numbers. Thank you very much.
That's how we that's the barometer for success in life now, you know, Twitter followers.
Much appreciated that.
I appreciate that, so tragic.
Thank you. And don't forget to check out Star Wars The Champions. This one will be Chris versus Max Rushton. But tomorrow, I'm on it. No, who am I against? Check out our Instagram and Snapchat and my Twitter to find out. And as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hayden, if you're watching this, big shout out, mate.